Hello folks, and welcome to part 4 of our G.Skill rig. And this is an important one because we're going to be finishing it today. Previously, we made the structure, and then in the last episode, we had these crystal distro plates and lighting panels. So now, all we have to do is assemble the whole thing, sort out all the wiring, make the custom loop, fill it all up, get it ready, and then ship it off to Taiwan because it's going to be exhibited over at G.Skill's booth at Computex in Nangang. So we need to make sure it's going to get there safely, crated up, and on time. So enough waffling, let's just get straight to it, show everything that's been done so far, and get this thing in working order. Well folks, I hope you've really enjoyed the journey with this one. It's been such a learning experience for me. I'm just so proud with how it came out. I think I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with the finish, and there are so many different processes that I'd never really tied together into one rig before. So having them all come out exactly how I'd hoped them to be is an absolute joy. So things like the 3D milling, I've tried little test pieces before but never actually put it into a proper rig. So the fact that it came out as it did is, to me, just very, very rewarding. Also all the aluminium work, make sure it's got that nice polished finish to match the dims. Heck, even the fact that the RGB software actually works is something special for me because it breaks all the time, and we've got 3 different ecosystems. So I've got Corsair controlling all of the RGB strips and the fans and things like that. We've got RGB Fusion from Gigabyte for the motherboard, and then because RGB Fusion doesn't really have good RAM control, I'm having to use Asus Aura for that. So the fact that these are all remotely working together, I think is a little bit of a feat. I think to call this one a challenge would be a complete understatement, because it's no doubt one of the most difficult rigs I've ever built. Just with the sheer volume of things to think about and consider, and just trying to get the finish exactly how I want it to be. All in all, there's somewhere between 250 and 300 hours that I've invested into this particular build, and it's maybe not all visible because of the video, it's sped up and it's staged over several weeks, but it was absolutely intense. I was literally having to get up, start working on the rig, finishing it sometime between 12 and 1 AM every single day, just to make sure that it was done on time. Now, speaking of on time, it's actually going to be shipped out later today. So I've got to take this, drain it out, pop it into a big crate that I assembled in the morning, and then ship it out to Taiwan, where it's going to be on show over on the G.Skill booth. Now, hopefully it's going to get there safe. It's an absolute unit. It's completely solid. I mean, I don't know if you can hear this very well, but there is no ringing in this at all. Even the GPU mount on the front is completely solid. You can't wiggle it. It moves the entire case if you try moving the graphics card. So in theory, it should survive shipping okay. Speaking of Computex, assuming that this doesn't get lost, stolen, or completely destroyed in transit, we're hoping to get some footage of it on the actual G.Skill booth alongside all the other crazy rigs that are going to be on show, a couple of which actually have parts that I've machined and you may recognize from some of the previous videos. So that should be quite exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'd also like to give a proper thank you to all the sponsors involved in this rig. So G.Skill for commissioning it and also providing the memory, motherboard, and CPU. EK Waterbots for providing all the water cooling components, and to Corsair for providing the power supply, RGB strips and fans. Because without you guys, we would not have been able to make this thing. It's absolutely mental, and it's so good to be able to have that industry support for a rig like this. Just as a heads up, we're also going to be doing a full-on overview video for this rig, covering it from start all the way to the finish. Now, if for some reason you're not already subscribed to the channel, I think you should fix that about now, because we've got some insanely cool stuff just around the corner, including more scratch builds like this one, case mods, part reviews, and event coverage, and you wouldn't want to miss any of it. And whilst you're at it, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, and builds.gg to stay up to date with all the latest information and modding goodies. Take care, folks, and I'll catch you next time.